Hey guys, what is up? Your boy DocStorm here again with you today. So I am hearing your feedback, guys. I'm so glad that a lot of you are supporting the channel. As you guys are aware, I'm very close to having 4K subscribers, and I am planning to do something special for that. Maybe giving out some limited edition souvenirs or giving out some gift cards. Haven't decided yet, so we're gonna wait till 4K. I'm gonna release a video. So for all the subscribers that have supported me so far, or new subscribers, will be enrolled. I'll give you more details as I hit 4K. But here, today's video, I want to talk to you about this most prominent deck right now. Is this one. You see it a lot in the top 100 decks. I'm going to show you this version, but because there are new cards coming out, I actually want to reveal to you a new version, which is this deck here. This deck is solid in terms of decreasing the cost of Elixir by actually one of the targets. So if you look at the average, it's 3.1 compared to 3.3. I'm going to show you a replay of this deck here first, and then let's talk about the pros and cons of each deck. So here we go. So here in the beginning, this deck is great to put down the slow unit Musketeer because you don't know what the opponent's doing, so you want to save some elixir as you make sure that your opponent has to commit to some elixir. So anytime someone drops the elixir collector, in your mind or in my mind, I need to rush because they're down 5 elixir or 6 elixir, means that I should have elixir gain and I need to take advantage of it ASAP, or else they would be building up elixir. But as you can see here, my opponent does very well in defending my Elite Barbarian push, which is usually not my favorite. As you guys know, I like to use my Elite Barbarians as a counter push, but I didn't have my Hog in the rotation, so that's why. So here again, I knew that they're probably lower elixir than I am, so I sent the Hog in. But again, great play by my opponent with the Ice Wiz, really counteracts that damage that my Hog Rider does. So at this point, I don't know what else that I can throw down my sleeve, so I'm just here recuperating a little bit, trying to defend, and then thinking of new strategy. So again here, Musketeer in, waiting for my opponent to do something. So because he used Elite Barbs, I sent my Elite Barbs in because I actually have a Musketeer there for backup, so I don't want to waste her. But again, great defense by my opponent with the Ice Golem and the Elite Barbarians. So here, right now, I'm in trouble because it seems like they're building elixir and I'm just catching up, trying to catch up. But I am ahead by that tower a little bit. And you'll see this deck here is great at gaining 1 tower. So because the Ice Wiz is on the other side, I'm just shifting focus, throwing my opponent off by pushing the other side. I knew that they were going to use the Elite Barbs against my Hog. So that's why I made sure that I had enough elixir for that free spell to counter the Elite Barbarians. So here I damaged both towers, which is great because now I have the option of attacking either tower. So here, because my opponent did the Giant on the other side, again, I chose this lane to push. But again, great play by my opponent with the Ice Wiz, and then the Elite Barbarians, he attracted them to the lane that he wants to push. So now that spare Elite Barbarian can help him push that lane also. So very great move. But here you'll see I countered the Elite Barbarian quite well as well. Here I'm getting ready for a mega defense. So freeze, drop the minions first because I want to do damage. I zap them to slow them down, and then also the Ice Spirit to slow them down a bit. Now look at my Hog placement. The Hog Rider there was just so that I can kite the Elite Barbarians. That's all it's doing. It's not meant to do too much damage there. It buys me time, charges my elixir a little bit, so I can go for the defense here like that. So you just have to stay cool, use what units you have. You know the weaknesses and strengths of each character or each unit, so you just gotta play the best you can. So here again, I knew I had to make a huge defense. The other lane right now, I'm not too concerned about. I actually want the Musketeer to not engage my Ice Golem or my Hog, because here I knew that if I save enough for a Hog Rush and a free spell, I was able to finish the tower just like that. So guys, you just have to stay calm when playing this game. One good thing about this deck is it's very strong defense and offensively. You have a lot of units left over, like your Musketeer, your Elite Barbs, so then it offers you the chance to rush the other lane. So that's why this deck is so powerful, because the cards that are left over for counter push are very powerful, like your Musketeer and the Elite Barbs. And you have a lot of defensive things going on for you. You have the Ice Golem, the Ice Spirit, and also a Zap spell that can pretty much counter a lot of the aerial stuff, you know, the Skeleton Army, all those little swarm type stuff. So that's for this deck. So the strength of this deck, let's recap a little bit. You have a lot of strong troops to counter push, like your Musketeer and Elite Barbs, so you can take advantage of both lanes if you want, or push one lane huge. So minions are great because, you know, they do a lot of damage. Look at damage per second, 102 times 3, so that's almost 300 damage per second for a 3 cost unit, and they're immune to zap. And again, the Musketeer is great because the range is 6, and also it survives an equal level fireball. That is key, guys. Surviving spells as a defensive card is key. So here I made a bold switch, and I'll show you the deck here. What I did and my mentality of making this deck is, what I want to do is, for a fast unit like the minions, I want to pair it with my Hog Rush. So there I use my Dart Goblin because he's very fast, huge range. So he's almost like a hybrid between my minion and my Musketeer. So I can pair my Hog Rider and my Goblin to Dart Goblin for an attack. Now the Mega Minion I play similarly like the Musketeer. He's mainly used for defense. Now he's 192 damage per second. Look at my Musketeer here, 175. So they're very equal in that respect. But now this deck effectively costs 1 less elixir and 0.2 less average elixir. So it does speed up my deck to play other cards as well. Because you will notice that the Dart Goblin is not comparable in damage between my minions. So just because the Mega Minion does a little bit more damage than the Musketeer, the Dart Goblin cannot fully kind of make up for the minion, especially for defense. Offense is a completely different story because the Dart Goblin shoots so fast that you can almost snipe towers like you do with a princess. Not as effective because the tower can get your Dart Goblin, but the Dart Goblin has a lot of advantages we'll see here later. So let's take a look at the deck, this deck here. So when people rush me with a Hog Rider, my defense would be the Mega Minion and Ice Spirit, similar to what I use sometimes for the Ice Spirit and Musketeer. Now it does fairly well, it's just that the Mega Minion does pretty much no offensive value unless you pair it with something else, which is what I did here. So I paired it with my Hog. Great play by my opponent here because he used 2 swarms and it was hard for countering both. Now look at the Dart Goblin. This is one of the advantages of the Dart Goblin. It's very, very effective at countering any swarm because of its attack speed and increased range. So here, look at how fast that guy shoots at. Sometimes being fast makes it more effective because it actually does more damage. It doesn't die. If it dies, it still gets off that hit. So here again, I'm trying to add value to my Mega Minion by pairing him with my Hog Rider, which you'll see does okay, but opponent does very well at countering the Mega Minion, but my Hog Rider got through. That's the most important part. So again, the Mega Minion very easily countered because it's very slow, similar to Barbarians. So here, because I'm ahead, I don't have to switch my strategy too much. My opponent actually might have to do it. So here I'm just kind of doing the same thing, trying to not be too aggressive, but playing what I can. So here again, not aggressive, play the Ice Spirit first, so then I can rotate to my Mega Minion, which is a slower unit, just to see what my opponent is up to. So here, boom, he plays Elite Barbs. I love countering it with my Ice Golem, and then because I have units at the back to finish them off, usually not a problem. And then because now I don't have units to defend the Musketeer, and had a feeling he was going to drop the Hog Rider, so then bam, Elite Barbs on that side, and you can see my enemy's tower there. That Dart Goblin did quite a bit of damage to that tower already. So great play by my opponent with the Ice Golem push. It pushes away my Elite Goblins, Elite Barbarians, so it didn't do as much damage. Again, the Dart Goblin is going to save the day because it is a swarm. So there you go. Look at how fast that thing is cleared. Mind you, I had the zap, but still very effective. So here I knew that I didn't have to put too much effort on that same lane. So instead, my Hog went to the other lane. And then here, honestly, the Hog Rider is just to do some decoy, because if he didn't defend it, it would do a lot of damage. but if he did defend it, it wastes some of his elixir, right? Because here I knew I just had to defend that lane very well, and I would have had it in the bag. So here I pushed, might as well, I had a lot of troops left over. Obviously I'm not really aiming for a 3-star, but it's just to add pressure for your opponent. You want to put your units on the lane that they want to push, right? Just in case they send more units in, you already have units down on the lane to block them or to counterattack them, so that you don't waste too much elixir on the other side and then they take that side and then now you're in overtime. So that's pretty much how you play that deck. So just a little recap, is a little bit different. I play my Mega Minion similarly to how I play the Musketeer. Slow unit, I play it at the back mainly for defense. I'm not really aiming for offense. It does offer some counter attack opportunity, but not as well as a Musketeer because it's range. Where this deck shines is the Dark Goblin. Dark Goblin is very effective at sniping those swarms, which a lot of decks use now, even like Barbarians, Skeleton Army, Minion Horde. The Dark Goblin is great at that. Also, it pairs great at destroying spawners. So if they had a furnace or something, you know, Dark Goblin can really take out those spawns. And also maybe if they place it further enough to the river, your Dark Goblin can snipe it across the river. It's got so much range that I believe the range is further than the Inferno Tower. That's right, the Inferno Tower is range 6. So effectively what you could do is you can put a Dark Goblin down and then it can literally snipe those buildings down for you. And those buildings cannot attack your Dark Goblins. Obviously they'll put other units down to counter him, but you can also put other units to counter their units. So again, Dark Goblin is great at kind of kiting people because of the range and also sniping people down because of the range. So just because the attack is a little bit less damage per second wise, I feel like the range aspect of it makes up for that. So it is a very effective unit. Again, you can try to replace it with minions, archers, and musketeer, things that kind of fit that similar role, where it's a semi-fast unit and then units that can take out air. So give it a try, guys. Let me know in the comments below which version you like more, the original version or my version that I created here. Save some elixir, but I feel like it does the job very similarly. Let me know. So I hope again you guys like this video. Again, once I hit 4K subscribers, all you subscribers, everyone that's been supporting me, make sure you check out the channel so then you can get some of the prizes that I'm maybe giving out. Okay, so that's it for now. Clash on, guys.